Ram is the newest operator in Rainbow Six Siege, and I can't lie, she be clapping cheeks. If you're looking for a lethal but versatile operator with a deadly loadout to accompany it, then look no further because Ram is the girl for you. The 5 Ram tactics I'm going to be sharing with you today will bless you with everything you need to know to become the greatest Ram player that you can possibly be. And the first step to that is understanding how Ram's gadget actually works. Ram's ability is the boogie mini tanks, or the Bugattis as I like to call them, and they're only breakable with defender explosives like impacts or C4s, or from destroying the little gas chamber on the back of it. Basically the exact same way you'd break a mirror window, meaning bullets or lasers like maestro cams will get the job done. Once the boogie is deployed, you can choose the path you want to go, whether it be straight or curve slightly left or right. Personally, I curve a little to the left. This thing will eat up soft floors, walls, and bulletproof utility, and can be even thrown through barricades to destroy them instantly. Originally, she had 4 of these bad boys during her time on the test server, but Ubi said, wow, that's insanely broken, and dialed it back to 3. It may not look like it on the surface, but there's a ton of creative ways to use this thing, so let's get into the 5 tactics that you need to know for some peak performance Ram gameplay. We're going to talk about these in order, starting with the easiest tactics and making our way up to the nastiest Ram tactic in the game. So at number 5, we have the simple yet effective use for Ram's boogies, which is simply for breaking utility. Got a common entrance into site where the defenders tend to stack their util? Just throw one in the doorway and literally break everything. Any utility that's placed on the ground will be destroyed, including barbed wire, castles, azamis, shields, goo mines, frost mats, and more. Be careful though, the boogie will also destroy other boogies, so don't throw one down in its active path. This goes for all the other strategies we're going to be talking about today, so just keep that in mind. The other thing about this util destruction is that the boogie won't destroy things up on the wall, so any maestro cams, Malusis, bulletproof cameras, or traps will be safe from the mini tank if they're placed appropriately, which is something to take note of if you're on the defense. When going for this direct destruction, be careful of objects like sandbags laying around. They will stop the boogie dead in its tracks, which is kind of embarrassing. Like really, you can destroy all this fortified military grade technology, but you can't get through a sandbag? Maybe Castle should take some notes from the sandbags. If you are being 100% committed to this one tactic and going for just util destruction, then Flores is probably still the better option, as he can jump his drones to get the utility up on the walls as well. So yeah, using a boogie to quickly bust down a barricade and start trucking through the site util is one way to do things, but the real strength of Ram comes from the vast amount of options that she has available to her. So if we're in the middle of a round and we need a little utility clear, then we've got that covered, but now it's time to talk about tactic number 4, the switch and bait boogie Bugatti. So here's the thing about Ram, you can line up these tanks, place them anywhere you want, but you can also activate them from anywhere on the map, meaning the bait opportunities coming out from these things can be extreme. You know the classic play of placing down a breach charge, thermite charge, or even a fuse charge, and then activating it from somewhere else on the map to bait the defenders in that direction? Well, the Bugattis can be placed and activated the exact same way, except these are excessively loud and will remain that way for a longer period of time than a breach charge would, meaning this is the ultimate distraction. This is where I think Ram gets the most creative, because you can drop these bad boys off of roofs, place them right outside doorways, and really anything you can possibly think of, like opening up walls behind a defender to pull their attention away as you walk in from the front. This is going to be great in clutch situations or late round when you need a little extra something to put the advantage into your favor. I haven't been able to test Ram as much as I'd like quite yet, but if you subscribe to the channel, I'm guaranteeing that I'll be uploading some YouTube shorts with some nasty Ram bait strategies in the near future. So we've got some of the destruction basics and a little bit of creativity in the mix now, but what we really need next is some action. As we get closer and closer to the very best Ram tactic in the game, number 3 is coming in strong, and it's coming with the chaos, baby. This one's all about those direct site takes and rushes. We've already discussed how loud Ram's boogies are, but there's more than just loudness that comes with these direct takes. Blasting open a window instantly is the first step. This gives the defenders minimal time to react to it and gives you a better chance of getting in and getting that bomb planted. So before you go shooting open doorways and revealing the plan of the rush, make sure everyone's in position and that they're ready, and then you just send it. After that, activate the boogie for maximum loudness while your team hits the site and plants the bomb. Not only does this provide sound cover, but it also sets up some top tier gameplay in the post plant too. If you're on the right site for it, the boogie will open up the floor below the diffuser, allowing you to play from here after the diffuser gets planted. Normally this is a fairly risky play, with defenders being able to long arm the diffuser without you seeing them, but because the holes are so big and gaping, you should be completely safe to play it out this way. Not to mention, you can do the same thing if the bomb site is below you, covering the diffuser from above. Now, I know RAM has the R4C with the 1.5 and 2x scope options, but hear me out for just a second because the LMG is also super disgusting, especially with RAM's kit. If you can control the recoil, which I believe it's a little easier on a PC than it is console, then it's totally worth it. Hell, even if you can't and you're doing these direct takes, it's still worth it because dumping a 150 round mag as your boogies range over the site and your teammate plants the bomb is the ultimate fuck you to the defenders with extremely loud everything. If you're playing some higher level players that are talented enough to C4 to stop the plant, then do the exact same thing except don't plant. Instead, drive that boogie in and dump an LMG mag to scare the defenders into thinking that you're planting. Literally just hold down the trigger and empty your mag. This should be enough to bait out their utility, and once that's done, you have enough Bugattis and ammo left over to do it all again, but you'll actually plant the bomb this time. For some reason, they got rid of her hard breach charges on the test server and decided to give her some smoke grenades instead, meaning you can even block off the lines of sight on top of all of this to really screw over the defense. And let's not lie to ourselves, the Warden mains, they're probably offsite anyway. You can also get your teammate to run Monty for extra protection while planting via the backwards shield, and it's really just completely broken. These wild plant strategies and vertical post-plant possibilities go hand in hand with the second strongest RAM tactic that there is: vertical play. RAM is by far the best vertical breacher in the game now. Playing slow ass 1-speed sledge and hitting the floor out from under you is the perfect way to get your face blown off by a C4, but with RAM, the Bugattis get in there like super Roombas, vacuuming up the floorboards while you sit safely and watch. The other thing about Sledge, or Buck even, is that while you're using your ability to open up the floor, you're not able to hold your flank with your gun. But with RAM, you're able to just toss down the boogies, hold your flank, and be safe while you do it. For the most part, you can just throw them around above the site and you'll open up almost all the angles you could possibly need, but if you have a good understanding of what is underneath which floors, you can find the most optimal path to place them on and absolutely plow the defenders because of it. Not to mention, she also has a secondary shotgun, so if there's ever a spot you missed, you can use that for backup. Now, there are a couple layers to the approach here. Firstly, tossing the boogies as you walk around is fine, but it's basic. For an even safer way, hit a rappel and throw the boogies in from there. This will make it so that you don't even need to clear out the roamers first, but instead just wreak havoc on the site as soon as you want. On top of that, you can hold the flanks better from here, you won't get C4'd, and you can use the upside down rappel to look through the floor if the floorboards are running in the right direction. This is a fantastic way to just add pressure to the defenders below while holding the flank and not letting the defenders use those holes against you. And that's the other thing. If you open up the entire floor to the bomb site and then die to a flank, that defender can now use those holes to stop your team from pushing into the site or from planting the bomb at all, so staying alive is very important. Plus, it can be super difficult to clear out roamers on your own sometimes, but hitting this rappel and playing it this way avoids all of that. And finally, for the best RAM tactic in the entire game, we have some very special window play that is the icing on the cake for your RAM playbook. If you can bring this final tactic into your arsenal along with all the rest that we've talked about throughout this video, you'll be ultra proficient with RAM and have the maximum opportunity for complete domination. Part 1 of the window play is the quickie. Not that kind of quickie, but rather a quick kill quickie. This is ideal for maps with dominant window play, but can be used however you like. The quickie is pulled off by getting posted up on a window and then just throwing a Bugatti through it. For some reason, it's an incredibly quick switch from your boogie to your gun again, allowing you to plow down the defenders before they can even react. This is a quick and easy way to potentially get a free kill and is ideal for top floor sites where your boogies are less important for the vertical play. It's also great if your team is rushing to cause a little chaos on the backside and then add in the sound cover afterwards. But that's not all, because having an R4C with such great sight options, RAM is going to be used primarily as a shooter by a lot of people. While I think it's slightly insane to ignore her extremely strong utility and just use her gun, I'm not here to be a hater. I'm here to maximize your performance, whether you're a running gun fiend or a planned out strategy beast. For my fearless gamers out there though, I present to you the RAM Hot Breach. The plan is simple. It just requires one competent teammate. But honestly, that might be a lot to ask, as sad as it is. Anyway, get your teammate to run breach charges and get on whatever rappel you want to go in from. Once their breach charge is placed down, this will allow you to do the rappel animation. If there's no breach charge, it doesn't give you the rappel option, so that's why it's necessary. Once you start rappelling in, or your teammate, whoever wants to do it, throw the Bugatti through the window at the perfect time, destroying the breach charge along with the window. Fire that bitch up and all the defenders will hear is the sound of a boogie getting thrown in and the loudness that follows it up. Little do they know, you or your teammate are actually inside of the building behind it for a silent hot breach that gets you right where you need to be. All you gotta do now is go crazy, win your gunfights, and you've got the dominant play you needed to win the game. I wouldn't recommend doing this multiple times a match, but if you need an aggressive play to get the job done, this risk can definitely be worth the reward. It doesn't end there though, because you can always layer on more strategies to it. Instead of going right away, you can wait for your teammate to rotate into a position to help you on your hot breach. Setting up the breach charge and then rotating across the map for the ideal pinch can be nasty, or just to cause a distraction somewhere else as Ram chugs through defenders on their hot breach. The possibilities with this are endless, making this the best Ram tactic in all of Rainbow Six. Once you combine these 5 Ram tactics together though, you've ended up with seemingly limitless possibilities for Ram, and you may even have a hard time deciding on what you want to do simply because there's so many options available. The chance that you don't have something to use your Bugattis on throughout the round is extremely slim, making Ram one of the strongest attackers we've seen in a very long time. So get on the Ram train, let me know your favorite tactic in the comments, and good luck out there. Subscribe.